Our next presenter is Scott Dorrance. Scott is a Portland-based photographer who travels the country shooting for his clients. He studied forestry before he studied photography. He fly fishes, bikes, hikes, and builds twig furniture. He also built a clay pizza oven in his backyard, which makes him a big rock star in my book. His friend Lucian says that Scott is a well-grounded Midwesterner who is a connoisseur of the quotidian. He loves old tools that are worn in and show age and use, rooms that are lived in and well-loved, things that are built by hand slowly and methodically. He also says that nothing will get Scott's attention faster than the tinkling of ice being put into a cocktail glass. He appreciates a well-made cocktail, so Scott, please meet Andrew. Andrew, please meet Scott. We will join you at the back of the room after the presentations. Come by. Please welcome Scott Dorrance.
I have one more thing with Andrew. My office mate was here tonight also speaking, Beth Taylor, so there were two groups of couples here tonight. And I'm glad that we both got chosen and one of us didn't get chosen.
Awkward. It would have been awkward.
This is about Not for Sale. It's a book I'm working on, and it's about homes, vacation homes that are owned by the family forever. And these people that own these homes, basically, they're just they're holding on to the home for the next generation because the past generation had done it for them. And they never seem to sell them. The families just go on and on. This is the big house. It's in the White Mountains in New Hampshire and was built in the 1880s as a hotel for Miss Marple types from Boston would come up and spend the whole summer up there. And you know, they would enjoy the views and the scenery. In 1968, I went to the cabin, as it was called, in Lake Vermilion, Minnesota, and it was owned by my great aunt. And it was my first time, like, away from home. I was there for 2 weeks, and it seemed like I was there for the whole summer. And that was my first taste of these kinds of homes. You'd wake up to the smell of perked coffee, bacon, and wild blueberry pancakes. And it was a very great experience. And my mother had also been involved with the cabin, and so she had started going there when she was a teenager. And as I was thinking of putting this together, I came up with a theme that's running through here, and I'm sure you'll see multiple themes. I have one that I'm going to mention at the end, and we'll see what you guys think about my theme. These are very simple places. Most of them haven't been really touched much, which is part of their the uniqueness of them is that there's a history there, and you can kind of see who came before you, and then you're kind of protecting and saving it for the people that are going to come after you. The next one is the Seaview Hotel, and that is in Friendship, Maine. I'm ahead of myself here. Friendship, Maine, and it also was built as a hotel in the 1880s. There was a boys' camp out on the harbor, and the families would come up here and stay while they were dropping off, picking up, or visiting their kids. The current owners, or I guess caretakers, are very musical, and this place has 3 or 4 pianos. I'm not really sure, but they have lots of pianos. There's lots of music going on there all the time, and they have stacks of sheet music, and they have stacks of books, like, they're not hymnals, but they're songbooks, and then they get the people that live on the point come over and they sing, which was something that you did before TV and even maybe before the radio was out there. And as you can see, there are lots of spaces that have, you know, there's probably no of the dishes in there that match. It's all just hodgepodge come from, you know, years and years. 22 years ago, I met my wife in New York City, and she had a job, a car, and a summer place in Maine. And all my friends thought that was really great because I was a photographer and we were all working as assistants and dating other photographers or assistants, and nobody had any of those things. So as you can see here, there's lots of pictures on the walls because the people that came before you have left little traces of who they are, and you will change out pictures, add pictures, and that'll be a way that you can keep track of what's going on, you know, who came before you. The next place is called Campfires, and is in the Rangeley Lake area on Beaver Mountain Lake. And as you can see, it was built a long time ago, 1917, because it's so close to the water, and it's been added on to a half a dozen times. That little house to the left there is called the Honeymoon Cabin. And the guy who built this was from Boston, and he was a big outdoorsman, and he had written a book called Campfires in the Wilderness, and he called this Campfires. And he was a true sportsman of the time, and they did a lot of different things there. And if you guys guessed taxidermy, you would have won, because as I was putting this together, I realized that every one of these places has a piece of taxidermy in it. And there's a squirrel up there on the chain, and then there's a little bird at the bottom of this thing. And this guy's name was E.W. Burt, and that's a little sign from his shoe company down in Boston. And so the next things are going to be some just, these are the porch, the sleeping porch. It's been renovated and now there's glass in there, but this would have originally had just screens. But you can see on the wall on the right there that all the pictures of the family, and those are like some sort of animal things that are made in a sword, and then their names are on there, and they're given as, you know, I don't know what they were, like to remember things or something like that, and so you can remember who had been there before. This is a bathroom. Bathrooms are usually very simple. People, you know, probably started off with outhouses and the lake, and this is kind of what they do now. This is the last slide, so I think it's time to open up the double-wide refrigerator from the 40s. It's probably been rebuilt numerous times. Grab a beer, head to the porch, and watch the sunset. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Scott. What a beautiful presentation. What a beautiful ending. And now I want to live in about 20 houses I can never own.